Okay, let me ask you something real quick. Think about the cash you've got sitting in a savings account right now. Is it actually doing anything for you, or is it just kind of sitting there, slowly decaying, losing its punch to inflation? Look, if you're in your 20s and you feel like you're somehow behind, like everybody else got handed some secret financial playbook that you missed, I need you to hear this loud and clear. You are not behind, but you also don't have a single day to waste.
Welcome to This Explainer. I am so pumped you're here with us today because we're handing you a complete, real-world financial script for your 20s. We're not doing textbook theory here. This is a concrete 0-to-1 blueprint for early wealth building. See, your 20s, that's the single most powerful decade of your entire financial life. Not because you're going to earn the most money right now, and definitely not because it's going to be easy. It's because you have the one asset that literally no amount of money can ever buy back: time. So let's dive right into this.
Here's the blueprint we're looking at today. 1. The wealth equation. 2. Build your financial foundation. 3. The investing playbook. 4. Grow your income ceiling. 5. Avoid the wealth killers. And finally, 6. The decade roadmap.
Starting off with Section 1, the wealth equation.
All right, before we get into the heavy strategy, we really need to redefine what success actually looks like. And here's the big secret. Wealth is not income. I'm going to say that again because it's that important. Wealth is not income. Right now, there are high-earning professionals pulling in multiple six figures who are living completely paycheck to paycheck with absolutely zero savings. Zero. On the flip side, you have middle-income earners, teachers, nurses, who are quietly retiring as multimillionaires. That's wild, right? But it fundamentally proves that it's really not about what you earn, it's about what you keep and exactly what you do with what you keep.
So what's the actual formula? Well, wealth equals your income minus your expenses, multiplied by time, multiplied by your rate of return. That's the whole shebang. And every single variable in this equation matters. Obviously, you can boost your income, you can slash your expenses, or you can go chasing higher returns. But time? Time is the ultimate non-refundable edge you have right now. It is, hands down, the most powerful variable on the board.
And if you need a real shake-you-awake moment, just look at the math here. Say you invest just $300 a month, starting at age 22, getting an average 8% return. You're going to end up with roughly $1 million by the time you hit 62. Awesome, right? But what happens if you wait just 10 years? Say you start at 32. Same $300 a month, same 8% return. You end up with about $440,000. I mean, wow, waiting a single decade literally cost you over $500,000 in lost compound interest. $500,000? You didn't lose that money to some bad crypto bet, you lost it to doing absolutely nothing. So use that time advantage.
Moving on to Section 2, build your financial foundation.
Look, skipping this groundwork is basically like trying to build a skyscraper on a pile of sand. It's going to collapse. Step 1 is knowing your numbers. You have to know where your cash is going. The 50-30-20 rule is probably the simplest, most effective budget framework you'll ever find. It goes like this. 50% of your take-home pay goes to needs, rent, groceries. 30% goes to wants, eating out, traveling. And a totally non-negotiable 20% goes straight into savings and investments. Now, if you live in a crazy expensive city, maybe you flex this to, say, 60-15-25. Honestly, the exact percentages matter way less than the absolute awareness of forcing every single dollar into a designated lane.
Then we get to the real heavy lifting. You absolutely must slay the dragon that is high-interest credit card debt. Get this, roughly 40% of Americans under 35 carry a credit card balance, getting hit with insane 18 to 29% APRs. Guys, there is no investment out there that reliably beats a 25% drag. It's a full-blown financial emergency, so pay it off aggressively. And at the exact same time, you need to build up your financial airbag, a 3 to 6 month emergency fund parked safely in a high-yield savings account, earning around 4.5 to 5% APY. This cash airbag means the next time your car breaks down, you aren't forced to raid your hard-earned investments just to fix it.
All right, Section 3, the investing playbook.
Now we go on the offense. How do we make your money work harder than you do? If your employer offers a 401k match, start there. Stop everything and start there. Let's say you earn $55,000 a year and your company matches up to 4%. That is $2,200 in free money every single year. Leaving an employer match on the table is literally rejecting free money. It's 100% guaranteed instant return on your investment. Let me tell you, absolutely nothing else in the financial world is going to hand you that kind of deal.
Then we unlock the young person's ultimate secret weapon, the Roth IRA. Okay, here is the absolute magic of this account. You put in after-tax money, it grows completely tax-free, and when you pull it out in retirement, you pay the IRS absolutely zero taxes. Zero. Zilch. Think about it. If you max out the $7,000 annual limit from age 22 to 32, and then, just never touch it again, that money could easily grow to over $200,000 by retirement, entirely tax-free. You can open one of these in 5 minutes at a low-cost brokerage like Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab.
So what are you actually supposed to buy inside those accounts? Please don't stress about picking individual stocks or, following crypto influencers. You don't need to do that. Here is a super straightforward set it and forget it shopping list. VTI for the total US stock market, VXUS for total international stocks, and BND for the total bond market. Basically, these are incredibly low-cost index funds that charge practically nothing in fees. We're talking like 0.03% annually. Compare that to the 1% or more that active managers charge, who, by the way, rarely even beat the market anyway. Just buy these broad market funds, set up automatic monthly transfers so you never even see the cash hit your checking account, and boom, you're not tempted to spend it on overpriced brunch. You completely remove human emotion from the equation.
Next up, Section 4, Grow Your Income Ceiling. Okay, saving is obviously vital, but let's be real, you can only cut out so many lattes. At some point, you've got to flip the switch and aggressively increase your earning potential. The absolute highest ROI investment you can make right now, it's in yourself. Ask yourself, what skill could I learn in the next 6 months to justify asking for a 20% raise? Is it coding in Python? Getting a PMP certification? Mastering SQL? The market pays a massive premium for in-demand skills. Once you have them, you have to relentlessly negotiate your salary. People who negotiate earn hundreds of thousands of dollars more over their careers than people who just accept that first offer. So come with data and come with confidence. Finally, start building side income streams. In today's economy, relying on a single source of income is frankly a liability. Even making an extra $500 to $1,000 a month freelancing, if you invest that consistently through your 20s, that alone can add hundreds of thousands of dollars to your nest egg.
All right, Section 5. Avoid the wealth killers.
Listen, building wealth isn't just about making smart offensive moves. It's also about actively dodging some very predictable financial landmines. Let's start with a firm reality check right now. Wealth is not performative, and a car is definitely not an investment. Remember that social media is literally just a highlight reel of finance vacations and rented luxury. You've got to stop comparing your day-to-day financial reality to someone else's carefully curated image. Run your own race. Build your wealth quietly.
So here are the specific traps you absolutely have to dodge. First up is lifestyle inflation. This is that huge urge to upgrade your apartment and your wardrobe the exact second you get a raise. Don't do it. Increase your savings rate first before you upgrade your life. Second is new car syndrome. Did you know the average new car payment in America is over $700 a month? That's basically a luxury vacation every single month, just thrown out the window. It's a massive wealth destroyer, especially considering a new car loses 20% of its value the second you drive it off the lot. Stick to reliable used cars. And finally, ignoring taxes. Take the time to learn how to use pre-tax accounts like a 401k or an HSA and really understand long-term capital gains. If you don't, you're missing out on perfectly legal tax shields.
And finally, Section 6, the Decade Roadmap.
Let's bring this whole explainer together into a totally actionable timeline you can actually follow for the next 10 years. Ages 22 to 25, this phase is all about building the base. Stick to your budget, fully fund that 3-month emergency fund, completely wipe out any credit card debt, and get that Roth IRA open. Just set the foundation. Then ages 25 to 28, now we accelerate. Push hard to max out that Roth IRA every single year, pivot careers or negotiate hard to bump up your income, and start learning about tax optimization. And then ages 28 to 30, consolidate. By now, you should have a pretty meaningful portfolio. Protect it, grow your income streams even further, and start mapping out those medium-term goals, like maybe a home purchase or launching a business.
And here is the ultimate truth of this entire roadmap. Wealth is built in decades, not days. Honestly, the hardest part of all this isn't the math. The math is incredibly simple. The hardest part is your mindset. Compound interest is an exponential curve. It feels painfully slow at first, and then suddenly it just explodes. Your portfolio might take 10 grueling years to hit $100,000, but then only 7 years to hit $300,000. And look, when the market drops, because it absolutely will drop, you have to ignore the gut instinct to panic sell. Treat market drops like a clearance sale. Keep automating, keep your hands off the wheel, and just let the boring, beautiful magic of compounding do the heavy lifting for you.
Which brings us to the end of our explainer. I really want to leave you with this final thought. Your 60-year-old self is heavily counting on the very real decisions you're making right now, today. The math is on your side, time is on your side. So, what's it going to be?
Are you just going to close this tab and move on to the next thing? Or are you going to go open that Roth IRA and actually start today?